Hello, everyone. I'm Manushri, and we are Team JAMN&C. We are here to present our solution towards a problem in the prompt role and reliability of social media in information sharing. Our team includes our mentor, Nizar, Nama, Jonathan, Alex, me, and Chinwe. We'll start our presentation off with Alexander Han. Hanf had a surprising encounter with fake news from ChatGPT when it told him about his own death. When Hanf asked follow-up questions related to his death, ChatGPT further supported its lie by referencing credible news sources and creating fake, non-existent article links. Although this situation doesn't seem too much of a cause for concern, there will be other instances where fake news causes major societal problems. Fake news causes mistrust in the community and causes people to make misinformed decisions. It can even cause the dangers of fake news can be seen through the research done in MIT that shows social media platforms, especially Twitter, spread fake news faster than real news. Fake news is 70% more likely to be retweeted than true stories. It also reaches a greater number of people. Our survey results on fake news offer more insight on this issue. I will pass it on to Jonathan.
So it turns out more than 60% of the people within the scope of our survey has encountered some form of fake news. More than 80% were of the age of 25 or under, meaning fake news is commonly encountered by Gen Zers. More than 80% of people found fake news on social media platforms, which is where we get most of our news on current affairs these days. And 50% of these fake news articles or posts were about political events. This is alarming because politics greatly affect the balance and stability of our society. They also act as a determining factor of someone's political identity. I will now pass it on to Chinwe.
As you can see from our surveys, our target audience is Gen Z. And this is because they see fake news more than any other demographic on social media. And so we created an application which can detect fake news on social media conveniently as they scroll through it. We want to reduce the spread and the effects that fake news has on Gen Z. As we all recover from the global pandemic, we saw how devastating the effects of increased fake news has on our digital platforms. And that added so much more confusion to the pandemic. That is why stopping the spread of fake news is so important as we emerge stronger from that pandemic. And that's why we created this application that can detect fake news. And I'll pass it on to Alex.
So for our current solution, it's a web application created with Python and the Streamlit framework. In this application, we're able to connect users to our deep learning model in which they can place new data, and it will predict either if it's real or fake news. In regards to the model itself, we use TensorFlow, sklearn, and NLTK libraries. To make our web application more accessible to the world, we use Streamlit Cloud to host our web application. Next slide, please. In regards to the process that we took to get to our solution, we first found we were looking for a data set that contained data relating to reports articles, in which we found one data set that had 6,000 samples of articles with labels of fake or real news. So with this data, we first had to clean up the data and transform it into something that a deep learning model could read and train from. In our case, we removed special characters, we removed meaningless words such as A and V, and transformed the cleaned up text into numerical values with a vector algorithm, count vectorizer. After training and testing our model, we deployed the model into our web application. In regards to our web application, it collects the user input, and which will be cleaned up and transformed and be placed as input into our model, which will spew out an output of the prediction of whether it's real or fake news. Now I'll pass on to Sherry for the demo.
All right, so our first demo shows the user typing in a real news title and content. Then it shows them if the input is fake or real. And then in the second demo, it shows them typing in fake news, and then it displays the model's prediction, which is fake news.
So we did our research and we found out that right now, there are a few solutions which are capable of detecting fake news. For example, the Get It fake news filter uses AI filtering technology to fact check articles based on keywords. But none of them focus on the fake news which spreads on social media platforms that Gen Z users use, such as Instagram, Snapchat, or TikTok. Get It is able to detect fake news, but their detection is localized to their application. The extension by Slate is able to bring fake news detection to people, but is dependent on people flagging it as fake news for the app to tell its users. We aim to bring AI algorithms conveniently to your personal devices and allow you to detect the authenticity of an article without the need of any human intervention. And I'll pass it on to Nama.
Nama, you are muted. Would you like to unmute yourself and walk us through?
To use AI ethically, all involved parties must consider a factor such as transparency, fairness, and avoiding bias, access to honest sources, awareness of personal bias, and combating fake news. These ethical considerations apply to news companies, readers, and social media platforms. During the development and implementation, effective fake news detection app can result from this ethical reflection. Next. For our future work, we will improve the app to make it a browser extension for Gen Z, since they often use the computers, and also deepen the fake news detections, give a credible alternative to fake news articles, and allow fact-checking rather than detecting reliable for news article. Make our solution more usable for Gen Z's platform, TikTok, Instagram, or Snapchat. And thank you.